Today on Open Minds UFO Report, a witness in Indiana snaps a photo of hovering orbs, an Arizona witness videotapes red lights over Mesa, and a mysterious orange orb is caught on video in Vancouver. Your Open Minds UFO Report starts now. Hello and welcome to the Open Minds UFO Report. My name is Alejandro Rojas. A witness in Crawford County, Indiana reported watching and photographing three bright white hovering orbs in a triangle formation, according to testimony in a case submitted to the Mutual UFO Network, also known as MUFON. The witness was out driving at 3 a.m. on March 2nd, 2015, when three orbs were noticed in the sky. I disregarded them and kept driving, the witness stated. When making my second round through the same area, I noticed the three orbs were in the same spot. I thought that I may have been too sleepy to really know, so I stopped in the road and stared for approximately 2 to 3 minutes and realized they weren't moving. The witness was telling a friend about the lights on a cell phone, but the cell kept dropping. The witness left and came back to the area multiple times, at one point taking a picture. The orbs were bright white and glowing, but did not emit a noise, light, or cause any other trouble, the witness explained. I have traveled this same route numerous times and at the same time at night, and have never seen it before or since. The whole ordeal lasted approximately 45 minutes to an hour. The orbs stayed exactly the same, and I decided to go home. I didn't feel nervous, scared, or anxious. I just felt curious and interested. The report was filed with MUFON on May 26, 2016. Indiana field investigator Patrick O'Brien investigated this case and closed it as an unknown. A witness in Mesa, Arizona reported watching and videotaping two red lights in a vertical position moving northwest to east, according to testimony in another MUFON report. The witness videotaped more than 15 minutes beginning at 9:50 p.m. on March 16, 2013 from a second-floor apartment complex. The witness says he went to close the blinds in his daughter's room when he noticed the lights. The witness wrote, "The reason I find this interesting is that there are two red vertical lights that slowly moved from the northwest to the east, possibly coming from the Anthem Cave Creek area headed towards Superstition Mountains." The witness has a background in aviation and says the lights were not the correct configuration for aircraft. Red was the only light visible throughout the whole recording, and it was steady and never rotated or moved out of position. The witness continued, "At about 11 minutes into filming, the top light began to fade and then went out. At 15 minutes 20 seconds, the second light began to fade and then went out. Near the end of the filming, I do show an aircraft landing at Falcon Field." The witness has spent many years working in or with the military, which is where he gained his aviation experience. "I have 21 years in naval aviation as an aviation ordnance man working on fixed and rotary wing aircraft and their weapons, and 6 years in the aerospace industry. 3 of those were manufacturing military helicopters, and 3 were in Iraq and Afghanistan as a contractor with numerous Army medevac units," the witness explained. "I have been in combat situations both in the Navy and as a contractor. With all this said, I know for a fact these are not military flares or other ordnance." The witness went on to say he is 99% sure the objects were not airships, balloons, or any other type of aircraft. He says there were also no clouds. The witness could not make out the shape of the object or objects and was too far away to determine if it made any sound. He estimated they were at 8 to 10 miles away. Field investigator Sandra Anthony investigated for Arizona MUFON and closed the case as an unknown. Anthony reported that the wind direction would indicate that the lights were not Chinese lanterns, and noted that there was at least one other report that night that was likely the same object. I contacted Arizona MUFON Chief Field Investigator Dennis Fryermouth for his thoughts. "He did find a satellite project that travels in pairs," he wrote. "There is a possibility what this person captured was 2 satellites that travel in tandem, mapping the Earth in 3D. It is a German program called Tandem X. However, Fryermouth says he has not been able to verify the flight path of these satellites on the day of this sighting, but it remains a possibility. Still, the objects have not been positively identified, so the case remains unknown." A UFO hunter in Vancouver caught an orange orb on video recently using his specially outfitted UFO spotting cameras and lenses. He says the object was able to be filmed using the night vision camera, but it did not show up on his thermal heat sensing camera. Charles Lamoureux has been hunting UFOs for a long time. He uses a system he calls his Skywatcher's Mobile Unit, or SMU. He says it is fitted with night vision, a thermal camera, a regular camcorder, and more. Lamoureux is not one to call every light in the night sky a UFO. Often he points out birds, planes, satellites, and other mundane objects that often get mistaken for UFOs. However, what he captured on the night of June 3, 2016, he cannot explain. He sent the video to openminds.tv and gave us some information on how he obtained it. According to Lamoureux, he first spotted the object on night vision at around 11:45 p.m. It was about 2 hours into his skywatching session. I noticed orange fuzzy object and realized it was within 200 feet from me since I had to focus the camera, Lamoureux explained via email. I know this because my camera is usually set for infinity, and if I have to focus, then I know the object must be within 200 feet as per experience using this camera over the years. He says the object appeared to be sphere-shaped. He began attempting to identify what the object was. Most night vision captures I see, I can easily see wings if it's a bird, bug, or any other mundane object, says Lamoureux. This object was semi-translucent, so I ruled out a balloon. I then followed it, and since it was fairly close, I looked directly at the sky and did not see anything. Lamouroux's SMU unit includes a thermal camera for picking up heat signatures, but the object was not being detected with it. A small bird or other heat-emitting object was able to be seen on the unit above the orb he was tracking. This can be seen in the video. Although the bird can be seen in the thermal and the night vision, the orb is only seen in the night vision. Thermal imaging shows objects that are different temperatures as different colors. Lamoureux concluded that the orb could not be seen on the thermal camera because it was either the same temperature as the air around it or colder. Lamoureux estimates the object was about 80 degrees over the horizon to the southwest of him. The object passed in front of buildings towards the end of his video. Using their height, he estimated the object was about 30 stories high. He says there was no wind, not even a breeze, leading him to believe it was not an object being carried by the air. Lamoureux is convinced the object is unusual. He wrote, "It's been about 15 months since my last witnessed event, and I skywatch almost every clear night since. This is the real deal and for sure 100% spherical." In order to get another opinion from an experienced skywatcher and UFO video analyst, I asked the MUFON UFO Network's chief video and photo analyst, Mark D'Antonio, to take a look. I looked at the video and noticed that he is using the Luna Optics full-color micro-lux camera. The sensitivity is about 0.3 lux, so it is an interesting camera, wrote D'Antonio. As for what he caught on the footage, it's not very far away. It's only about 100 feet away from him by his own admission. D'Antonio continued, "It appeared to me to be more like a plastic bag flying around in the air. I am not saying that is what it is, but that would account for the reason why there is no thermal signature, which he thought was very important." D'Antonio notes that the object was filmed in a city and there is a lot of trash blowing around. He has seen trash floating around in the city be mistaken for UFOs before. D'Antonio gave me a similar conclusion to a video I was given years ago of an object floating around the Las Vegas Strip. However, D'Antonio wanted to be clear that he is not making any final conclusions, just suggesting another possibility. He also points out that the video does not provide any evidence that puts it in the extraterrestrial category either. Although D'Antonio feels the object might be trash floating around the city streets, the object does appear to be spherical in shape, as Lamoureux pointed out. At one point, it also appears to change direction. Let us know what you think about Lamoureux's video in the comments below. That's your Open Minds UFO Report for today. You can find these stories and more at openminds.tv. We post fresh UFO news daily. You can also follow us on Twitter at OpenMindsTV, and you can find us on Facebook. The 25th Annual International UFO Congress was a great success, and DVDs of the lectures can be purchased at our online store. They can also be viewed on our video portal and online streaming service. For one low price, you can view an archive of lectures from past UFO Congress events, and more videos are being added regularly. Our store and our video portal can be found at openminds.tv. We have also opened up registration for the 26th Annual International UFO Congress. Speakers will be listed soon, but if you want to get your tickets at hugely discounted prices, order your super early bird tickets now at ufocongress.com. Let us know if you enjoyed today's episode by liking the episode on YouTube and leaving us your comments in the section below. You can also download our podcast Open Minds UFO Radio on iTunes or at openminds.tv/radio. Thanks again for joining us today. For OpenMinds.tv, I'm Alejandro Rojas.